Fathergamer podcast.
And welcome to episode 64 of the Fathergamer podcast. It's been a little while. The last episode, I did it all alone. All by myself. No one was there. And now I've got Mike back with me. Say hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Yes, good. He's well trained. Unfortunately, he's not potty trained very well, so we have to kind of keep things in line with that. But
Oh, that's what that puddle of water is.
well,
Okay.
I'm telling you, like we pretty much took a month off. I love it though. We basically,
Seems like longer than a month.
it was a little more than a month, but it was pretty much a month.
Yeah.
And we've had all of the. I think we've had 4 retro shows at least since then. So
Yeah. I'm up
yeah.
to episode 7 now on the retros.
yeah, you can catch those. We can catch them on everything pretty much now, can't you?
iTunes, no, but everything else.
Okay.
Well, Libsyn, iTunes, no. Everything
Okay.
else, yes.
So yeah, you can catch those, but yeah, it's been a crazy like month for a little over a month for me since I recorded. Actually, I was pretty sick when I recorded that episode too, as well.
Mm-hmm.
I had mono back in September, and it basically decimated my body. It's like anything that came into contact with me virus-wise, I caught and got worse. It just completely killed my immune system. So,
And then it doesn't help that the allergy season right now,
yeah, allergy season as well, and then
which made it worse.
Well, you're the worst though with that though. It's like I've got allergies. The next thing I know, you've got like the plague. It's like I
I bring it over to the house.
You have no distinguishing like ability for it. So when you start to sniffle, I just like get the hell away from me.
I'd be like, hey,
Yeah, no,
right into his face and then
Right,
get him
pretty
sick.
much. Well, that's how we've learned to talk to each other. So, but yeah, don't. It's been a crazy like a little over a month of basically getting
Yeah, it's about
super
right, a month and a half.
bugs, super like we got everything from like the sniffles to other stuff. Like, I'm telling you something. The worst thing in the world though is to be stuffy headed and constipated. That's just like that's just a terrible feeling. But I will tell you this: this is just between you, Mike, and
the interwebs.
the several thousand of you that listen. So the whole family was getting these bugs, right? and one of them was, kind of stopped up the lower areas for all of us, and I did okay, but my wife needed some help. So we went, which is the greatest thing in the world, to go to the store and get like an enema. Like you just, I was trying.
That's right. Yeah.
I was trying my damnedest too, because we live in a college town, so there's all these college girls around, and I'm trying my best to
You're
just
trying
like,
to hide it.
I'm trying to hide it in that little gap in right between, on the cart.
Mm-hmm.
Like the box was just big enough, small enough. It fell in between and fell on the floor right in front of those girls. And then I was thinking, and they looked at me, and I looked at them, and I'm like, yeah, that's going up someone's ass. And then I was like, you know what? Why do I care?
Right.
Like, legitimately, why do I care? So I get home. I was like, can you help me? And I was like, sure, because we've been married 20 years. So I can honestly say I've seen everything in my life.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a function at this point. And so I was like, okay. But let's make things interesting, which never leads to anything good with me. Like, never, ever, ever, ever. So I decided to get onto Spotify, and and I put a little Barry White on. She did not find that amusing. I don't know. I don't know why she didn't. She just didn't appreciate it.
That's funny.
It's the little things in marriage. Let me
Right.
tell you. I'm planning right now to all the E3 stuff, and
Right.
for Cinelinx, Cinelinx.com. By the way, we are Cinelinx powered. Go to cinelinks.com for all your nerd news, reviews, and all that stuff. Normally, I'd throw that in there earlier, but yeah, we're conversational today. It's me and Mike.
Mm-hmm.
So we're planning all of our E3 stuff, and I have to admit, in the back of my brain, I'm thinking, I have a terrible immune system right now. They said it could take up to a year, and I'm going to throw myself
At the con.
at not a con, the con for. I mean, it's a lot of professionals and stuff like that, but I mean, it's right around season and all this kind of stuff. And last year, I was a lot healthier. I was working out almost every day up until the con.
You didn't have to take an insulin anymore.
And I'm back to taking insulin for a while because this whole run since September, I've gained a little bit of weight. It hasn't been a terrible amount, but it's been enough to throw my insulin.
Throw it back up. Yeah.
So I'm working towards. I'm just not getting energy. So watch this be an interesting E3. The slightest. So, but we're gonna get into more about E3 in just a little bit when we get into our topic of the week. Go ahead and let's go into what's in your system. I just did it myself.
What's in your system?
What's in your system? So,
hopefully that'll be edited out and put the actual in there.
No. I will put that in there, but it's still gonna be what's in your system.
What's in your system?
What's in your system? Miss Money Penny. So since I've been sick,
You've been sick? What?
Yeah, I've played a lot of console stuff, but I've been really, really just, I don't know, my eyes were hurting. I just didn't feel like being in front of my wondrous 4K TV. There was
beautiful 4K TV
that was melting my eyeballs for parts of
that you got for cheap.
Yes, that's how you do it. I don't know why I almost hit Mario there. That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
Trade it with mushrooms. So I've been playing lots of Pokemon. Something hit me, and I was just like, not physically, but something just kind of crawled into my brain and said, you know what, you need to go back and play Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd played X. I didn't beat X. I played Omega, didn't beat Omega, and I've actually traded in my copies.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't have the copies anymore. You're just borrowing my Y right now.
Yeah, I'm borrowing your Y, and I have Omega.
Mm-hmm.
I'd gotten a copy of Omega again a while back.
Yeah,
and so I beat Omega, and was like, okay, I caught a lot of Pokemon. I kind of want to fill out my Pokedex since Sun and Moon's coming out, which is the new Pokemons that'll be out probably around November-ish.
Oh wow, that late? Okay.
And maybe earlier. It said late.
Oh, like late 2016.
Late 2016. Okay. So I'm thinking November. Could be September, October, but I'm pretty sure November.
November's probably the sweet spot. Yeah. Right before the Christmas holiday.
Yeah, that would be, if they could do October, that would be really good. But I got an opening in October. So I decided I'm gonna play through and get as many of the Pokemon. I've been going through the Pokedex. There's 720 Pokemon now, and
I guess it gives you like the names of the Pokemon as you go down it, right? You
can.
You don't see it because you don't have one.
Well,
yet.
and I'm also looking up the official online, trying to go through
the wikis.
I'm basically hitting the Pokedex, going down the line, going, do I have this Pokemon? Is it on X? Is it on Y? And I've also been playing Yellow, and those Pokemon are going to be able to transfer to Sun and Moon from Yellow, Red, and Blue on the 3DS. So I'm way too into Pokemon, like so much that I had some credit at Best Buy and got the limited edition Steelbook Blu-ray of the first 3 movies.
Nice.
Was watching those, been watching stuff like, I don't know, it's been some comfort while I've been ill. Like, it's just, I don't have to think. It's Pokemon. There is no thinking involved.
I was gonna say, I just now started playing Pokemon, and there's not really any thinking at all.
Well, later on, as you get more into it, or if you play competitively, because there is an online competitive aspect to Pokemon. there is a lot of strategy involved, and like how you level up your particular Pokemon and what attributes you give,
Mhm.
and what TMs you give it, that kind of stuff. There is a lot to it. I don't really like. I've played a little bit online. I did beat the crap out of someone yesterday, and I was like done. I dropped the mic at that point. It's like I beat some like 14-year-old in Spain, and I'm done. Like I'm not
Korea
no. That's the thing is
or China.
to catch. I haven't seen any Chinese ones, but I have seen Korean. I have seen Japanese. I've seen Spain. I've seen a lot of. But one of the things I've done is since I've beaten those 2 games, I have a character that's really high. It's Farfetch'd, the bird with the little leak.
Yeah.
And
I actually just got one of those.
And he's got false swipe.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, if you don't know this, when you hit somebody with that, they go down to just 1 point on their hit points, and it makes them easier to catch.
Mm-hmm.
And I basically do that, and they can hit me as much as they want. So I go to what I did was I went to the earlier regions where it's basically I hit them once, it goes down to 1, and I throw a regular Pokeball, just a regular plain Jane cheap Pokeball, catch them, save up about 50 of those, and then I go onto this thing called Wonder Trade, and I just sit there and spam Wonder Trade. Like, I'll just keep trading stuff, and I got stuff I was surprised, like Alakazams and Meowths, who's not even in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't even get them in this current gen. So I am on the search for a Togepi right now. So it's so pathetic. Like, I'm almost 40.
And here I am. I don't even know any of those characters
Oh,
except for
I
Meowth
do.
right now.
I've been playing a lot of that. I've played a lot of the Division. Haven't really been able to talk about that since I've been out. I played with Kyle once, but Kyle and Colby decided to get it on the Xbox. So they've been the pariahs of the Division world for us because everybody else
has
got it
PlayStation
for PS4, and so they're in their own dark zone. I'll probably get into that more. I'm gonna try to get Kyle on to talk about it. We've played through everything, even the first their incursion, I think is what it's called. We played through that. We've leveled up all the way you can level up. I like it. I can see where people are getting bored with it. It hits the same.
It's like Destiny.
It has it Destiny, yeah. Like there is a certain point to where, you're gonna have to be dedicated.
Yeah.
And if you don't like games, the grind, if you don't like that kind of stuff, I've noticed people have issues with the traversal through it and that kind of thing. I don't really have a problem, especially if you go through and explore the map and stuff like that. You can
deviate.
You can travel by map. And I haven't had a real big problem with it.
The way to go.
Yes, the way to go. I haven't had a really big problem with it. I think my biggest problem with it is honestly there's some dark zone issues that are kind of unfair.
Like people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will admit we got kind of pissed because what you can do is because you can do 8 people on party chat.
Yeah.
And you can only be in teams of 4. But if you have if you know 7 friends that have the game, you can all party chat together and still meet up in the dark zone,
right?
And basically be an 8-man team running through as, where you go rogue, and you basically become this wall of death. Like there's nothing that can stop you.
So like you have like basically 2 teams of 4.
Yeah, but
they're combining their efforts.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And you all go rogue and basically steal everyone's crap. It's fun until you're on the other side of that, and it's just you and a bud running through the dark zone, and you're like your bag is full of gold, like gold equipment, and all of a sudden you just see it. You're just like, oh crap!
Somebody comes back into the dark zone. I remember you.
Well, I have done that several times. I'll screenshot a name and like I will get my revenge. I don't say it, but I will remember you. Like I have an entire whole section of pictures, and I'm just writing down their names. Like, it's
surprised that you haven't sent me those pictures for
not yet.
Posterity.
No, I've got them.
He'll snapshot a whole bunch of like scenes from different games, and he'll send them to me so that he can share them again later on like Facebook and Twitter.
If you're a game picture like person, loves to take pictures of your game characters, and that's pretty much a running joke with us. I'm a gamer selfie person. But the best way to transport your pictures and get really good resolution on them is to go to the PlayStation app on your cell phone. Well, first send them to a friend.
Send them to the friend, yeah.
To a friend,
which in this case is me.
On the PlayStation Network.
That way it doesn't have to stay on the PlayStation itself. It can be sent off to the cloud.
And then, in that point, that's the best way that I've been able to get the best quality. Because when you transfer them to Facebook, they degrade. You transfer them to Twitter, they degrade.
Yeah.
So that's
Twitter not as much, but Facebook...
But it still degrades it.
Yeah.
So that seems to be the best way. So I've been playing that. Played Quantum Break. Not going to get too much into it. I enjoyed it. My biggest problem, I felt like it worked really well. I thought the TV stuff could get a little hammy at times, but I thought overall it worked pretty well.
The seamlessness between the game and the episodes.
I wouldn't say seamlessness, but it definitely worked better than I thought it would.
Yeah.
My biggest
when I finally saw him actually play it, I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool," because
it worked
depending
well
on what you do, will change the episode.
And if you decide to, because you can stream, because just like a streaming like Netflix or Hulu and stuff, you can stream the episodes.
Yeah.
Because they're really big files, so they didn't put them on the disc necessarily.
Right.
So you can either stream them or you can download them, and it's 75 gigs.
Oh, holy crap.
To download. So, and I downloaded them and didn't realize that it was that much. I walked away and like I didn't even look to see what the size was. And we came back in the day and they were downloaded, and I was like, where the hell is all my hard drive space? It's like it was like
no wonder I hit my cap today. Damn it.
Yeah, well, I already hit that on our provider. My biggest problem with the game with Quantum Break was
the hose.
Honestly, the boss, the final boss, and it was sort of like the developers at the very end said, "You know what? We need to put a challenge, like a real challenge,
an actual challenge." And
there were moments where like I died a couple times during the game, but not much. And I was playing it on hard. There was some challenge in the game. I had no problem with that. I died a few times, not a big deal. But at the very end, the very last boss, they upped the challenge. Like when you're playing a game,
it's like tenfold, basically.
Well, yeah, the mechanics of good gaming is you want to level up the person, the ability of the person playing, as well as the character. So when you hit that crescendo at the end, you feel like it was a natural progression,
right,
to the end boss. This felt like I was pretty much a god, and then I get to the end boss, and
you got
and it turns out I was a demigod, and I was puny god, and Hulk was smashing me around. I enjoyed it until the boss. It was the same issue that a lot of really, really good games seem to have, especially narrative-driven games, and I just really wish. I'm kind of tired of that mechanic like that. Like,
right.
And I love these guys, the guys who made the game, and I, they made Alan Wake and all those games, and I've enjoyed what they've done, but that was not that ending. Oh, I just got so pissed. So, and then we've been playing, both of us, and pretty much a good chunk of everybody I know has been playing Miitomo.
Yeah.
It is a very interesting. Well, the thing is, I have a feeling. Okay, if you guys haven't played Miitomo is Nintendo's technically first, but they've actually done a few little apps here or there. But is their first really big social app.
Right.
And
cell phone based social
basically is Tomodachi Life,
or mobile, I should say.
It's pretty much Tomodachi Life without as much depth. And Tomodachi Life didn't have any depth really to begin with. It just had a lot more choices. And I'm sure at some point they're going to give you the ability.
They'll
to
probably
change
expand it out. Yeah,
you'll be able to change your room and all that kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure about that. That seems like a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer
because it's essentially a background. So I'm sure they can change out those. But I think just like any other social media app, because it's essentially a social media app, I think the intended purpose and what it becomes might be two different things. Because to me, it is now a meme generator. Like, it is just it is one of the most robust little photo editors.
Oh, heck yeah.
I have ever seen. You can do depth, you can do, if you have it and any kind of picture editor, you can in tandem those things, and you can even put it back into Miitomo. You can re-download it, and
it lets you save it to the mobile device, and then send it right back once you've edited it.
Yeah, and so it's.
I've actually done a couple of them.
There's a lot of things like Snapchat was originally porn, and Instagram had its earlier purposes. And Facebook.
What were those earlier purposes, Eric?
Same thing. I didn't do anything. MySpace has become a huge hub for music.
Yeah, that's what it was originally intended for. Also, though.
Well, and kind of just became precursor to Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook was originally supposed to be for hooking up and getting to know people on campus.
Really?
It was just meant for colleges, is what Facebook originally was meant for. So you have this app, and I don't think there'll be anything insidious, at least not in the foreseeable future.
People can cuss on it though.
Oh yeah,
whenever you answer questions and stuff.
that is one of my favorite things.
They don't block it,
and I'm not gonna name any names, but I remember one of the first things is one of my friends. Yeah. She said pretty much every word that you could think of, trying to test it. All in one answer, awesome. And it reads like as you.
It actually read it off.
Yeah, it'll speak for you, because you get to make your me, and then the me will speak.
You can change the speed of your speech as well as.
I need to slow mine down because it sounds like this when I talk like this.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's great.
And then some of them are like this.
Yeah, it's
I'm
such
like, really? Speed up, please.
It's such a great thing. Well, and then high pitch stuff.
Yeah.
But then you get to some of the stuff I do like is getting to know some of your friends, like some things. Some people like I'm actually disturbed about them now. Some of their answers, like I'm not entirely sure I should have been friends with them to begin with.
And you can also apparently friend other people's friends.
At a certain point, their friends will pop, like certain friends, as long as you've opted into that.
Yeah,
will pop up, but
you don't have to accept them though,
unless you really know.
I kind of try to stay away from people I don't know.
I don't mind, like, because I don't ever say anything.
Right.
There's really nothing to connect me. Is who I mean, I'm out in the world anyway, so I don't really care. But it's kind of one of those things. Is
there's not very many things that are very probing.
You get
as
rewarded.
Far as questions.
You get rewarded for having more friends.
Yes, and answering them and liking them.
It's actually more fun with less friends.
Yeah,
because you can keep it. Because I have to admit, I probably only really interact with about 10 or 12 people, and
I just do it lately. I've only been doing it for the daily rewards and the photos.
Yeah.
I haven't been answering any more questions.
I officially hit my cap though the other day of like I've spent all my coins. I've spent all my tickets. They have the Miitomo drop, which is doing Splatoon stuff.
Yeah,
and I want that damn shirt.
I wasted like quite a bit of time on that. I wasted
10 of those damn tickets and all of my coins getting
got about 5 or 6 coins. 5 or 6 tickets.
It's interesting. It's replaced.
I got one of the shirts though.
I haven't been able to get a shirt.
I was trying to get the wigs, and I ended up I ended up like falling on one of the shirts by accident.
But it's a very. It can be very fun. It can be very weird. It's an experiment. It is something unique to see in the gaming market. So we'll follow more on it, and we'll talk more about it later. So we're gonna get out of what's in your system, and we're gonna take a quick break. And when we come back, we're gonna get into Talk Nerdy to Me. And we're back. Again, I am so sorry, guys, out there for my occasional coughing and whatnot. It's still getting over crap, so this hopefully will be the end of me.
I was about to do the same thing.
Trust me, you can't catch anything. Yeah, it just sounds like you're taking a crap. Like, I don't know what that was. So anyway, let's get into Talk Nerdy to Me. Really have to make a plop noise?
Talk nerdy to me.
What the hell? So, Punisher. I know you watched. For some reason, you can't seem to finish.
I don't finish
2.
TV shows.
No, you're at all. It's like, so
I'm about 5 or 6 episodes into Daredevil season 2.
How? Like, once you start that, it's like crack rock for a nerd. It's such.
I'll watch some this weekend.
Okay.
I'll probably binge through it this weekend.
Yeah, what? You have like 6 episodes left.
Yeah. It's easy
to do. John Berthel, I think isn't that his name? Berthnell?
Shane from Walking Dead.
Yeah, I always forget his last name. It's John with a Jon.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that. That's
like short for Jonathan usually for those. Or just John.
Yeah. Anyway, as he's in his Punisher, he can be named whatever whatever he wants me to call him.
Right.
We'll just call him Frank. Let's just call him Frank Castle. What the hell? Is he whipping me now? What the?
Because he's the Punisher.
Well, not that kind of Punisher. It's not an S&M. I think you need to get farther into the series. I don't think you quite understand the concept of the Punisher yet. It's not
50 Shades of Grey.
No, it's so not that at all. So anyway, he was great as a Punisher, but you can't even because you barely seen much of him.
2 or 3 episodes.
I remember though, it's the same crap that people gave with, pretty much everything in the last about 2 or 3 years. Oh God, he's gonna be terrible, and I was
exactly, and he's perfect.
Go back, listen. What did I say? I said he's gonna be fine.
Yeah,
and you know what? He's
exactly
perfect. Like he's. People have this problem detaching characters and actors. Like, how come D'Onofrio's blah blah blah? It's like shut the frick up, dude. It's just try to enjoy something once in a while.
By the way, congrats on the Oscar.
To who?
Well, I thought you said DiCaprio, but I guess you said
D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio, whoever that is.
Well, he's Fisk.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Sweet. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw who it was going to be, I was like, friggin' A.
Yeah, so...
That's definitely going to be Fisk.
Well, it's funny because Fisk was originally Thor, the mechanic in Adventures in Babysitting that they thought was Thor. Did you ever see Adventures in Babysitting?
I don't remember.
The little girl wore a Thor helmet and had his had Mew Mew.
Yeah,
and
I love Mew.
There was a mechanic, and he looked like Thor.
Oh, okay,
and the blonde hair and everything. He's all built. That
was him.
That was him. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So anyway, enough about him. Adventures of Babysitting, but we're getting a full series of The Punisher on Netflix, and Netflix is basically becoming the Marvel Network.
The Marvel Network, yeah.
Why don't they just throw Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on there while they're at it, and just...
That would be awesome.
Yeah. It would be cool. It'd be cool to actually have them deal with each other. I want to see Punisher or Matt Murdock show up on an episode or something like that. Like, I want to see a little more tie-in with the TV universe. I will admit,
put Spider-Man on there, man.
I will admit
that would be awesome.
I would love Daredevil to pop up in the new Spider-Man movie. Like that would be really cool. I doubt it'll happen, perfect. But it would be really cool. But so Steve Lightfoot, he did Hannibal and Casualty. He's actually the showrunner, and so
cool.
That could be some twisted stuff. I'm kind of hoping. I mean, they've pushed the envelope.
I've heard Hannibal's pretty good, but I haven't watched
Hannibal's really good. They pushed the envelope a lot in this season. I mean, in the first season I was like, wow, this is pretty rough. And then Jessica Jones came out, and it was like, wow, okay, there really is
a lot of sex in this.
There's a lot of not filter anymore. Okay, sweet. I mean, it's weird because it's all been pretty family friendly until now, and which I don't care. I mean,
I wouldn't call Daredevil family friendly, but at least it was tame compared to.
No. I mean, I'm also the same way I took my kid to go see Deadpool. Granted, she's 15, so.
By the way, Deadpool is awesome.
Deadpool was awesome. So
if you haven't seen it, you need to.
My kid understands this stuff, so she was fine. So I'm excited to see. I mean, they have a full slate of stuff coming with Defenders, Jessica Jones 2 season 2, Daredevil season 3, Iron Fist.
Yeah.
And like God, they've got so many shows coming.
Before we go too far, friggin' last season of Daredevil, one episode, the hallway episode, and then they basically took the hallway episode and changed it into an entire building.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think it was episode 3. That episode was epic. That was amazing.
They have about 3 of those in this season.
Really?
Like they knew that that episode was such a hit.
Yeah,
people because I think it was episode 2.
It was either 2 or 3
in the first series.
Okay,
and I
think so.
I remember. Anytime I talk to people, it's like, oh, that hallway episode. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what you say. And now
it's the holy crap, that building episode.
Or just like, how the fact that they have done it for 2 seasons, like 2 really good seasons of a show that I think people were nervous at best.
Yeah,
when they heard Daredevil, like. I'm sorry. It proves that Affleck doesn't taint everything. It's not Affleck. It's everyone else.
Yeah, it's definitely not Affleck. Yeah.
So that's definitely one thing that we need to talk about. It's not the same thing. So there's a new Raider in the house. The Tomb Raider reboot has which I know people were like talking about how beloved the Tomb Raider movies are.
The Lara Croft movies. Yeah,
they're
not
terrible.
Exactly
No, they're terrible. They are terrible.
Yeah.
And I love Lara. I love Lara Croft. I love Tomb Raider.
I like Angelina Jolie.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of her as well.
Extent.
No. I'm a big fan of her. I didn't say all of her movies. Actually, she's become a pretty good director, and she's
sweet.
She is actually a very talented person. But, and no knock to her, but I never really liked the Tomb Raider movies. I just, it didn't scratch that itch that I needed for what I felt a Tomb Raider game or movie should be. Honestly, I like the old Tomb Raider games and stuff, but I've fallen in love with the current Tomb Raider. Like the aspect of how they do it, the very Uncharted-y sort of Tomb Raider. and we've talked about that on the show endlessly about how much I've absolutely loved the Tomb Raider games, the current generation ones.
By the way, I've liked Angelina Jolie since her very first movie, Hackers.
Oh, God, you and Hackers. So
completely unrealistic, but awesome cinematically.
You brought up Hackers so many times. Anyway, so they have a new Tomb Raider. Alicia Vikander, I think what we decided on her last name is.
Yeah.
She was in Ex Machina and The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and
nice.
She's she's had a very short career,
Mm-hmm.
but has been in a lot of movies. She's the Danish Girl, which was nominated. Well, she won an Academy Award.
Cool.
So, I mean, she's an Academy Award winning actress. It's going to be closer to the new Tomb Raider
the newer games.
So it's
Nice.
going to be probably very visceral, she's going to get the crap beat out of her, in
Yeah.
other words. So I'm excited to see, not her getting the crap beat out of her, but the kind of Indiana Jones-esque sort of adventure. Well, no, it's definitely a lot darker than Indiana Jones. I mean, Indiana Jones could get pretty dark, but the kind of stuff. But
the movie that shall not be named.
I pointed out to somebody the other day they didn't realize that Temple of Doom is a prequel to Raiders. It actually is. It's completely 100%. It is a prequel to Raiders of the Lost Ark. They're out of order.
Yes. Yeah, the dates are earlier.
Yeah.
That's right.
So yeah, I'm a huge fan, so I knew that.
Yeah.
But I pointed that to a friend. He's like, "No, they're not." And he came back. I was like, "Yes,
it even
they
has
are."
the date and the location.
Yeah. So no, it's a prequel. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it makes you think that Short Round is died or something, but it's like, oh god, like you just see that hat like somewhere in a skeleton later on, but it's like Short Round, go in there. Okay, just I don't know. Anyway, so I'm excited to see those. Her back, on the screen and the way I actually want to see Lara Croft. So
you want to see her back on the screen?
No, that did not come out right. And so our next bit is keep a director already. So I did you ever finally see Batman vs Superman?
I have not,
Okay.
Unfortunately.
You don't see anything anymore, do you?
I didn't have money. All my money is getting funneled into something else.
Yeah, traveling back and forth a couple 100 miles
to
see his girlfriend.
That's right. I have a girlfriend.
I am one. Yeah, and miracles happen.
Exactly. I don't know if she sees it me, but I like it.
I'm not gonna go there. So because we are recorded. So I actually liked Batman vs Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I think people overthought it, and I think what happened with Batman vs Superman. I mean, I saw flaws. I'm not gonna say I didn't see flaws, but
and people didn't like Batfleck.
Well, they're stupid. I'm sorry. No, I mean seriously. Most people that saw it, even people that didn't like the movie, said I loved Batman.
Yeah,
like Batman. I'm telling you, Batman in that movie is one of the coolest Batman. Like to me,
and he was very Frank Millerish.
Oh yeah, very Frank
Okay,
Millerish. He's older. He's kind of scary when he's Batman. Like there's moments where you're like, that's the monster, the thing that hides in the dark that all the criminals are supposed to be scared of. He was that. Like
cool.
there's a moment where he's like in a corner, like almost Spider-Manning it, and this guy walks by, and you're like, he's about to get completely bitch slapped like by Batman. And the fight scenes with Batman are amazing, and the fact that they've announced that Affleck is writing and directing a Batman movie, I'm just like, yeah, I'm super excited. The Batman stuff is good. Superman, I can see where people had issues with. The problem is, I think people have come to expect. We've had so many variations on Batman. We can accept different versions of Batman.
Yeah. Superman, there's been like what, 3 now?
Well, technically more, but there's been
not counting the
idea.
TV shows.
The idea of Superman is the older Christopher Reeve, even older, where he was. Well, he's happy. He's kind of a happy, sometimes jovial type character. And it was about hope and peace and love and blah blah blah, whatever. And I understand and I respect. And I have some, some of the people that have been on the show, are big proponents of like that version of Superman, and I understand that, but I kind of like how they're going with this, and I have I kind of like where, you know, it is kind of a Superman getting to that spot. Like, how do you transition from that spot? I mean, the guy has so much power; it's kind of hard to write anyway.
Yeah,
and so to give him, he can pretty much do everything. But
because magic and kryptonite is his only weaknesses.
Yeah, and
they haven't done the magic part yet.
And apparently, news report that it's just, that's his only weaknesses.
Emo Superman has a baby.
Well, that we don't talk about anymore. Even though I loved Brandon Routh as Superman,
I freaking loved that movie actually, but a lot of people
I don't love the movie, but I love him as Superman.
Oh, he's an awesome Superman as far as his looks and everything else. He looked like he looked like Christopher Reeve.
But that's the problem. And because I remember people going, when Superman Returns came out, it's like, oh my god, it's too much like the Donner movies.
And, I don't care. I love the Donner movies.
That's
what I grew up on.
Well, that's true. And I think this is the problem, is now we're fed, and I love the Marvel stuff. I mean, obviously we've talked about it, but most of these characters, the reason I think they work on screen on the Marvel side is because you've never seen them before. You've never seen Ant-Man on screen.
Right.
You've never seen Iron Man until he came out on screen. You've never seen...
And we're not going to talk about Iron Man 2 at all.
There's a few exceptions. There's a few exceptions to the rule on this as far as stuff we haven't seen before, but like one of the biggest problems, I say one of the most argued, not to say lowest rated, but one of the most argued about movies of the current Marvel slate was Hulk.
Yeah.
And you would hear, well, it's not like the Hulk I grew up with. It's not, blah, blah, blah. Well, no, but that's what you hear.
The Bruce Banner version of Hulk.
Because people have an idea of what they like. They have an idea in their head of what these characters are supposed to be.
Yeah.
So honestly, it's
and the sad part about Hulk being like several different versions of him.
Yeah.
And changing the storyline so much that it's no longer useful.
Well, and that's
they've
in the
gotten
comics,
back to his roots, which is awesome.
But I'm talking in the movies themselves. Yeah. The thing is,
well, I'm talking about the original Hulk movie, not the Bruce Banner, 80s version. I'm talking about the
Ang Lee,
the 90s Hulk that came out.
The Ang Lee one, yeah.
I liked the movie.
It was boring.
But they changed the way that he became the Hulk.
Well, and I didn't care
His
about that.
father injected him with stuff, and he became the Hulk.
I didn't mind that, but my problem was the movie was boring.
Yeah.
Like, how do you take a really decent director? I mean, he'd come off of
what was it, Crouching
Tiger and Brokeback Mountain, and Academy Award.
That one.
Oh yeah,
I haven't seen it yet.
It's beautifully shot. That's not a bad movie at all, dude. It's beautifully shot.
Mm-hmm.
He does great. He's great with cinematography and all this stuff, but it was just a boring movie. So anyway, let's move on. So I liked Batman versus Superman. I think people just have their own ideas of what these characters should be, and it's really hard for people to get past that. And I actually gave DC a lot because it's very hard to get past that. And I think the character that people two characters they seem to get like the most out of there were Batman and Wonder Woman. But they should. This is a little spoiler alert, but not a huge one. In the movie, there is a point where you see little glimpses of the Justice League.
Yeah.
They're assembling. They're filming it right now in London, the Justice League movie. And because of the negative reviews and the negativity towards Batman versus Superman, there's a lot of turmoil going on inside of Warner. Of script changes.
Right.
I'm hearing a lot of stuff, like a lot of stuff going on.
DC has a very hard time lately with making people happy.
It's what people want are what they think they want, and
Yeah.
trying to make off. I remember I walked out of Batman versus Superman, and I heard this old couple, and they were just like, I just wish Christopher Reeve was still around. I'm like, I was like, yeah, that would have been a great movie with a 70, 80-year-old Christopher Reeve. That would have been fantastic. So,
in a wheelchair.
Yeah, that's not cool, dude. So,
Too soon.
very much too soon. Anyway, do you know what they actually call that a Christopher Reeve break? Our Superman break, like where he
where he got hit in
where
the
he
spine.
fell off the horse. Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway, so they've had a lot of turmoil going on, and the director on the Flash movie has left. So Seth Grahame-Smith.
Like, what kind of stuff has he done?
Nothing. I mean, literally, this is his first movie. So my bet is he was feeling the same issues that
the pressure,
especially from the studio, and I'm sure there's been a lot of backpedaling on how they're going to make it more Marvel. Like, I have a feeling that there's a lot of that going on. And,
so him being the pitch man,
and he
didn't exactly work.
It doesn't help either that there is a much beloved Flash already in existence,
right?
And so it fits into that category of preconceived
what the hell do
notions.
we do?
Yeah, because he is a completely different kind of Flash. This
Yeah.
Flash, they've shown what he looks like. It's Ezra Miller, and he's slightly long hair, shaggy looking. Yeah,
that's jacked up.
Yeah, he's completely and they showed a little bit of the suit, and it had like mechanical stuff on it. Like, it completely. Well, I mean, they could have been just for the moment.
Yeah,
for what happened in
like
in
a
the
Flashpoint type of thing or something.
Yeah, and so,
if you have not seen the Flashpoint movie, the animated movie,
yeah, it's good.
Go ahead and watch it.
But
it's pretty good.
It's kind of sad. I mean, I would honestly. I think a first-time director, that's a terrible thing to give them. I mean, to be honest with you. I mean, it was originally the team, the guys who did, I can't think of the names offhand, but it's the guys who did the Lego movies and 21 Jump Street were originally. They're working off of their script. They were originally going to do it, but they went over to do the Han Solo anthology movie. Yeah, which I'm fantastic. That's so awesome.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, Disney kind of like pulled them out. I would love to see a really.
Wait, you want to pay us how much?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably. So he's out of there, and so I imagine they're making a mad, no pun intended, dash run to try to find a new director. And now
hope to be able to change the
James Wan, the director for the Aquaman movie, he did the last couple Fast and Furious movies and stuff. And he said that it was really, really hard to do. Like, I think coming off of Fast, it's been really hard for him to do that. The pressure for that, and now the pressure on for this might be too much. Like, and he's a great director. He's a great choice. I'd actually rather see him on the Flash. I gotta kind of admit.
I can see that.
I would have. That would have maybe they'll move him over to that.
Yeah.
But it's sad to see him, quote, cut bait. More puns from Aquaman, because I love the character of Aquaman, and I'm not talking the Super Friends Aquaman, and
that's all I can think of, though.
Well, and that's
the sad part.
Well, and Jason is Momoa. Yeah, he's a badass. Like,
he's a freaking badass. Yeah,
and he's gonna be a badass.
He's Ronan
Aquaman.
from Stargate Atlantis, man.
I would. Yeah, nobody knows him from that. He's Dragon or whatever his name is from what's his name from Game of Thrones.
He's Game of Thrones. Yes.
Yeah, that's what people know him from, dude. They don't know from Stargate Atlantis or whatever. But anyway, he is a badass, and I was really kind of excited to see what's going to happen to this universe, but now I think they're so scared. You see, I don't think you're going to quit. From what I understand, though, they all connect. Like, they're all they have to be made.
I was going to say, they're going to have to be made to be able to connect to other stuff later on, yeah.
In the movie, the money's there, and
Marvel already knows how to do it, and do it well. DC has never had a continuous storyline.
No.
Ever.
So, well, let's move into movie news. We've been kind of dragging. Since this normally happens, it seems to happen to us every time we have a new episode after not having one. We go on way too long. So,
which is a good thing, kind of.
Kind of. DC Universe Online for the Xbox One. It's out now. If you have Xbox Live, it's free to play. You can buy the monthly, which I think is about like $20 or something like that. If you want to, and you get all the DLC, all the stuff, so you can play and
wait, $20 a month? $20 a month?
$20 a month.
That's a little steep.
But I think it's around that. But I mean, there is a lot of content. I will admit, since all the content from the
there's a ton of
PC,
DLC.
PS3, PS4, all that content plus some exclusive stuff for the Xbox. Daybreak Studios did it. They used to actually be part of Sony, and there was a break off, and I guess they announced this a while back. I noticed a lot of people were like, where did this come from? It just popped up. But they announced it months ago that it was coming, and I don't know. Like, I don't think I play every so often. My biggest thing is
I played for a few days and then stopped.
It's really fun with friends. And unless you really have friends that go through this stuff, it's kind of boring. And sometimes almost impossible. Like, there is a particular area, a cap you'll get into, where unless you have friends, and then those friends have that content, so basically means they have to buy the monthly pass. Because I know me and Mello...
Taken the Taken King type of thing in Destiny.
Kinda.
You could go to the same planets, but you can't really do the activity.
There's a lot of issues with playing that game with that, and also it's huge install. And usually, every time I've reinstalled it, it is a very slow, time-consuming install. It's not just the size; it's something to do with the server. PlayStation has kind of had that issue for a long time.
Yeah.
I noticed on my Xbox, stuff definitely downloads faster on my Xbox, but
it's like this weird buffer.
Yeah,
it doesn't tell you that it's buffering, but it's some sort of weird buffer.
So I don't know if it's a safety thing or what. So check it out if you have an Xbox. I mean, there's a lot of free to play stuff on the Xbox actually right now.
Nice.
So we talked a little bit about Miitomo and how it's kind of affected. It's a good little like wading in to the shallow end of the digital pool, and Nintendo at their latest earnings call last week, their shareholder thingamajig they announced that some more stuff's coming. We know Pokemon Go is coming. That's the essentially geocaching, Pokemon catching, augmented reality game. And you can go online. You can see it's beta testing right now in Australia, and you can
see like Pokemon Snap, but on steroids.
Kinda.
But you catch the Pokemon.
I'm waiting though to see some report of some guy getting run over trying to catch Bulbasaur in the middle of the highway. Like it's interesting.
It's gonna have to avoid roads. That's
so
for sure.
it definitely feels like they're kind of experimenting.
Yeah,
I think that's really what this is right now. And if they make some money off of it, because I mean, I would say a little bit of money was spent on Miitomo, but I wouldn't say hell of a lot of money was spent probably developing it, because I mean essentially Miitomo is essentially Tamagotchi. And I remember playing Tamagotchi thinking, oh my god, it was right around when Tamagotchi came out. It was like, it's right when they said they're going to start bringing stuff out to cell phones. I was like, this kind of feels like a precursor.
It's a precursor, yeah.
And so they announced that in this year there is, on top of Pokemon Go, and there's a few other stuff that they kind of announced here or there, little tiny things, and there's some a few other things I'm privy to that which will be out in the next few weeks. But the
Are you saying you have insider information?
This is all I do.
Because you're the Fathergamer.
Yes, I am the Fathergamer. They have a Fire Emblem game coming out for mobile and an Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Don't exactly know what they are. I swear to God, if it's the Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, I'm gonna be so pissed. Like, if it's something like that, I think an actual, like,
I can see it being similar to the mobile version of Kingdom Hearts, very cartoony and stupid.
Well, I didn't mind, and we didn't talk about this. I did play a little bit of it. I didn't mind it, but I got bored of it really quick.
I got bored, and I'm not playing it anymore. I deleted it from my phone.
Yeah, well, it takes up so much space. Like,
yeah, too. Yes.
That's one of the other issues. Is like, if I put Fire Emblem, Animal Crossing, Pokemon Go, and Miitomo on my phone, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna have to delete everything else off my phone. So,
and hope that you still have space to be able to install them.
Screw that. I'll have no battery life.
Yeah, well, that too, yes.
Because if I've watched, like, I got up one morning and was kind of laying in bed, just like, I'll have a lazy day and I'll play a little Miitomo in the morning. Full bars, because I charged it at night.
Yeah.
Full battery. I shit you not, dude. Like, within an hour, I was at 50%.
Yeah.
It's that
I can
thing,
see that.
That thing will suck the battery life right out of your phone. That is probably one of the biggest issues I have with that game.
Yeah.
And it's because it's running so much.
And the weird thing is, I just recently realized this. It's strange. Obviously, it's off topic, but, well, kind of off topic. The last few nights, my phone has gotten to 100% because it charges really fast, because it's got the fast charge capability. On my LG, I'll unplug it at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's still 100% by the time I wake up in the morning, because somehow at night there ain't much going on the phone at all.
Well, you're not using it.
I'm not using it. It's stationary. It's doing nothing. Yeah. And yet, if I start moving the phone around, if I check Facebook briefly, if I go online and do some social sharing for Cinelinks, I'm at 90% before I get to work.
Well, yeah, that sounds about reasonable. Because if you think about it, with the modern mobile sites and stuff like that, you have you've got images going on, you've got tons of stuff going on, like behind the scenes,
and I'm on the cell phone network rather than Wi-Fi at that point.
That's still gonna drain it even more. Yeah. You just got so much going on a phone. Like, I've gotten to where I'll go in and I'll turn everything off, and I did that with Miitomo. I turned everything else off. Yeah, and it did help, but not much. But it helped a little bit.
It's because the screen is the screen and the processing on the GPU.
Well, it's
the biggest parts of it.
With Miitomo, you've got the constant rendering in motion of the character. You've got
in a 3D environment.
The 3D environment, which I think does, but I think it's also the fact that I think it constantly pings. Like,
probably.
I just have this feeling, and it has a DRM kind of quality to it as well. Like, I think it's constantly trying to, because I noticed if I go in to the Nintendo thing, and like claim a prize or something like that on a separate website, which should be connected. The newer Club Nintendo,
right? The Club Nintendo,
it should be connected. It shouldn't be a separate entity. To as soon as you log in, it should be the same entity.
Right.
But anyway, I digress.
Yes, we digress.
So there is Fire Emblem and Animal Crossing, and that's awesome, But this gets us into the topic of the week. At that same call, they announced, hey, guess what, guys? The NX is coming in March.
Woohoo!
Which is great, which is weird because most consoles come out in November for Nintendo. Notoriously, pretty much for a long time, at least that I can remember back. because they always come out right around my birthday.
Yeah.
Like November 19th.
Just in time for Christmas.
Well, right, a little bit right before Black Friday in the U.S. And, I was, okay, March. But then generally, when they release a handheld, they release it around that time. March to...
that makes more sense now, actually.
So I'm kind of...
because NX is supposed to be mobile.
Well, mobile, or we don't... The thing is, we don't really know what the NX is.
Yeah.
Like, we have no clue. So, okay, that's fine.
It's a freaking cell phone.
March is fine. March is fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's actually, to me, that's a good time compared to, we have a lot of stuff coming up. We've got the PlayStation VR.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the potential
possibility of PlayStation X2 version.
2.0.
Yeah.
And the PlayStation...
Well, I say X. I didn't mean that actually X. Because there is a PlayStation X that's Japan only.
Yeah. But that's PSX, but that's
yeah.
Anyway,
many years ago.
But they have the potential Xbox One 2.0 or whatever it is as well, and then you've got tons of games and all this kind of stuff. So I could see Nintendo, especially if they're going to try to bring something new to the market, go, okay, March, nothing comes out in March. Technically, it's second Christmas right around then,
right?
But still, generally not much as far as console stuff or anything big comes out in March.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not a bad time period. So I was like, okay, and that's, almost a year away. Well, less than a year.
Right.
So that's fine. But then they turn around and we're like, okay, which we had guessed that that Zelda is going to be coming out on the NX. We knew it was going to get pushed. And we had said, yeah, they'll probably do the same thing they did to the Wii, to Twilight Princess, where they released it on the Wii.
A backwards compatible version of it.
Well, it was actually, they released two versions.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually a GameCube version of Twilight Princess and a Wii version of Twilight Princess.
Well, that's what I mean by backwards compatible version.
I mean, they're not bad. I mean, they're two different.
They're the same game, but on two different consoles.
Yeah, but
that's what I mean.
They're the qualities. Actually, gotta be honest with you, I kind of prefer the GameCube version.
Really?
But I'm pretty sure the Twilight Princess is working off the GameCube version, the updated one for the
probably, yeah.
But because you can play with the controller as well. The Twilight HD, not Twilight the movie, but Twilight Princess HD. But so okay, that's cool. I'm excited. That we kind of figured that was all going to happen. Nintendo, we're kind of ahead of you on that. And then they come out and say, okay, guess what? We're not going to show the NX at E3.
Yeah.
The selfish part of me was screaming like a 2-year-old at that point because I'm going to be there, and I'm like,
right, exactly.
Like I'm
you're going to go there and there's nothing there except for like indie games.
Well, at this point, I'm kind of getting a little nervous. No, there's going to be plenty of games there, but it's in all that. But they basically said, hey, the big things we're going to show is there's going to be Zelda stuff everywhere. Like we're all going to show Zelda off and all this kind of stuff.
They're still going to be on the floor, but they're not going to have an actual.
But they're only going to show the Wii U version.
Yeah,
and so that's like we're just kind of like, okay, I understand not releasing it this year. That's totally cool. Like I didn't plan on us getting it in North America this year anyway.
Right.
Not entirely sure I could afford it anyway. So
exactly, yeah.
Around that time. So I wasn't really worried about that. But not to show it at E3, I do think it's a mistake. And I don't think they need to come out and I don't think it needs to be a mic drop moment. I mean, I honestly think if they had put one working beta unit behind glass and a TV like it with
a video,
like only. a small TV, like this is it for the show floor. It's just one TV, the working unit, and like two post notes saying Zelda and Metroid coming next year. Like they would win. they would have won E3.
Not even the show floor. Have it in the conference. Have it in one of the conference halls.
In a cubby somewhere in one of
It's
the
on
restaurants.
stage, to where people could just come up to it and look at it and be like, a droll.
I mean, they would have won E3, and so they could completely wow. It's like we're gonna still have to show Sun and Moon as well, and I'm sure they're gonna show off some of their mobile stuff. And they're going to show off Sun and Moon, and they're going to show probably off some of their mobile stuff, but they're promising pretty much most of the show floor is going to be Zelda stuff. Mm-hmm. So I better get at least some Zelda swag.
Yeah, I was going to say, dude.
Like that's at least that's at least what I need to get out of that Nintendo. But no, I mean it seems like a mistake, and I think among most people, I feel like it's a mistake to not show stuff. I mean, they could still change their mind and show something, and I understand, like, you have EA, they've pretty much, I wouldn't say dropped out of E3, because they're still going to have a presence, but it's going to be, they're going to do their show, and then they're going to have stuff behind closed doors, playtesting, same thing with Activision and a few other people. But I can see, especially after going to E3, how much money is spent.
Yeah.
On those games. I mean, on those the floor. I mean, that's a lot of money they spent, and they feel like maybe they can get just as much hype online. I don't know entirely if that's true. I think you're going to have a lot of angry bloggers and a lot of stuff that are there that have a lot more pull than people think. But I do know this, if you take a look at the sales of their consoles, this is the
Wii
worst,
U is the worst.
The worst selling console. I do think this is it. I think even they know it.
Yeah.
That if this
doesn't work out, they're screwed.
Personally, I think I would be really okay if Nintendo could go multi-console, and
like Sega did.
That didn't work out very well but Sega structurally wasn't as sound as Nintendo is. Nintendo's been around since forever, and I mean, technically they're over 100 years old, the company. So
what was like a card game originally?
They made cards.
Yeah.
So I mean, they've been around. I think they could transition to multi-console better than Sega wishes they could.
Sega.
I wish somebody would buy Sega at this point so we could at least get some games. Yeah. But so yeah, I think it's a misstep, but we'll see. Nintendo's been a really odd bird lately in this last generation, and I'm really hoping to see something amazing. And I have high hopes for the game for Zelda. Like, I have really high hopes for it. Some of the stuff I've heard about it so far is really interesting. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break and come back to our WTF. And we're back. We're at WTF.
WTF.
Please hang up and try again.
The Hadron Collider in Switzerland. I'm fascinated by this thing. Like, I'm incredibly fascinated because I love theoretical physics and like amateur armchair kind of stuff. But I love that, and the fact that they're looking at trying to figure out parallel universes and all this stuff. They're basically living the Flash.
I was gonna say it's the Flash.
Yeah, it's so
he's actually there right now.
So according to NPR, there was a sabotage at the.
Great, now I'm thinking of that song.
Yeah, sabotage at the Hadron Collider a few days ago. Injured. There was a small explosion, and like a small, like isolated explosion. And
Did it create a wormhole to Earth
create a
2?
wormhole to Earth 2. And engineers investigated, and they found
Flash's helmet.
I mean, this thing
flew through it.
Now, this thing's 17 miles. Like, people don't realize how big this thing is.
Yeah, it's huge.
So, and it's a huge underground and at some points above ground, like areas around it, superstructure stuff. But there's some wildlife around it. I mean, it's Switzerland. I mean, it's got its fair share of animals. Yeah, that promise you there's probably nothing around there that does that. But apparently, the charred remains of a furry creature was found near a chewed through power cable, and it was a weasel or a marten or something in that category, which is basically a weasel.
It's a bird, isn't it?
There's different spelling.
Okay.
So,
George R.R. Martin.
No. Yeah.
We'll never get that Game of Thrones finished. Damn it!
Apparently, George R. R. Martin was chewing through the cable. He was like, I can't have this happen. He just chewed through it. Now, so all I was thinking at that point was like, my brain was going, is like, okay, are we getting Super Weasel?
Meta Weasel.
This is Meta Weasel. This is how this stuff starts. Like, is there gonna open up a parallel universes with weasels? Like,
it's a cross between Flash and Pokemon.
Yeah, it's just, oh god,
it's an electric weasel.
Electric weasel. So, I mean, is this weasel gonna be like? I mean, it was just really. I swear to God, though, if I could catch him like a Pokemon, his name would be Higgs, like Higgs boson.
Yeah,
like
that would be awesome.
Like, it's just, I'm pretty sure.
I choose you, Higgs.
And then it just like
just lays flat and dead.
It like collapses into itself and creates a wormhole. So it's like the worst Pokemon ever. Destroys all of the Indigo League. It's just like, thanks, Higgs. So I was just like, and apparently wildlife has been a problem. Like, you think about it though, this is like the
what was the cat? The one, is it dead? Is it alive?
Oh, Schrodinger.
Schrodinger. Because that's what I was thinking about too.
Yeah, I'm sure it was dead. There wasn't. I'm sure when that weasel chewed through that, there wasn't a Schrodinger moment.
The Pokeball bursts a box, and you don't know if he's dead or alive at that point.
Is
he gonna pop out of the box or not?
That'd be funny. That's how you catch your Pokemon, is with boxes. So it apparently the wildlife has been an issue with this thing before.
Really?
Yeah, there was a bird. Just disrupted the operations. By the way, this thing's going to be shut down till like mid-May.
I was going to say probably a really long time. Yeah.
So, but apparently a bird dropped a baguette.
A baguette.
Like, I'm guessing it was a French bird.
A very large French bird.
It's a very large French bird. He was like, dropped a baguette. I'm like, I was about to approach a French accent and decided the only thing I was going to do was wee wee, and that just doesn't. That doesn't make sense. Anyway,
he was on his lunch break.
Yes, he was taking his 2-month lunch break and dropped a baguette over the
mandatory 2-month break.
2 months, yes. So that's crazy though to think that thing is like powerful as anything, and yet.
Something so simple hurts it for a long time.
Granted, weasels are mean little buggers. Yeah. Sometimes they can. They're. But still, I can just it's just so crazy. So anyway, we're gonna move on. The next thing we have is you can never check out.
Hotel California.
Yes, we're not singing it because I don't want to pay the royalties.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a. Well, apparently in Japan, their baby boomer generation is dying off pretty quick, and which is not a funny thing at all. Yeah. But it's age and things happen and all this kind of stuff. So they're passing on. Apparently, corpse hotels are popping up in Japan, because of
That's a little morbid.
That is a lot morbid. Apparently, there is a lot of dead people, but unfortunately, not enough crematoriums. Because a lot of Japanese prefer to be, especially because of space and and religious and belief systems. A lot of them are cremated.
You get you can interact with them and have lunch with them and stuff.
No, I don't. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure that's. But basically, what happens is some hotels are really hidden. Like they're very they blend in with the environment, so people don't really know what they are, or if they do, it's not really a big problem. Right. There's a few of them. One in particular that's having an issue. In a particular part of it's near Tokyo. The actual hotel. What happens is they basically stay there for about 4 or 5 days. Some hotels I've looked into it. Keep it at a very, very, very low temperature, very, very cold. And this particular one keeps it cold, but it's just regular AC.
Yeah.
Like, so there could be some smells that are coming out of the hotel.
Just a few.
And I'm definitely sure I don't want to use that bed after that person. But it's causing some disruptions in the neighborhood and with smells, and they're asking that they know the business has to be there, but maybe the ventilation can be up a little higher.
Is it street level?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
So that's gross.
Yeah.
I mean, it's terrible that's they're essentially camouflaged camouflaged morgues is what they are. But it's really sad that they don't have enough. Essentially, it's not enough space to build the crematoriums, and so, that's crazy though. That's, at least to our standards, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But I haven't quite figured out. Like some places, it seems to be about $80-$90 to house
them
your loved one for that amount of time. And I mean, it can give you a place, I guess, to grieve, but like after a few days, your loved ones don't smell like great. So I don't know. That's just gross. So
yeah, I mean, because they're not preserved because they're gonna cremate them. So
well, apparently, as Japan is aging too, 20,000 more people per year are expected, with the death rate expected to peak at about 1.7 million a year by around 2040.
Wow.
For such a small country, that's a lot of people.
Yes, it is.
That is a lot. Like, I'm pretty sure I need to invest in some corpse motels in Japan. I don't know, buy some shares at Corpse Motel. So, yeah, that's terrible. And that's our WTF this month. So you've got Super Squirrels and Corpse Motel. I'm pretty sure Mecha Weasel is going to attack Tokyo, and there's going to be some zombies. That's we've made a game for you, somebody out there. Kojima, I know you're like not working for Konami anymore. I just gave you an idea. So anyway, thank you guys for listening. I know it's been a very long episode. As we're going to be getting them out a lot more. Again, back to the basics, and we'll be putting one out each week, and some of them might be shorter, some of them might be longer. We've got some Star Wars stuff coming up really soon. We've got a few special E3 shows. We've got some interview shows coming up, and we're gonna have some pre-E3 Road to E3 stuff. Me and Matt from SCNS Live, which you can listen to them on Cinelinks, or watch them on Cinelinks, and on YouTube, go to
youtube.com/SCNS Live.
Yeah, check them out. They do a show every Thursday at 8 Central Time, and we're going to be doing some pre-E3 Road to E3 shows, talking about our our misadventures getting there. Like
Mhm.
people don't realize how much effort goes into this. Like it's sort of like Black Friday for nerd websites. Like a lot of traffic. We get a ton of traffic
Yeah.
during that time. It's one of the best times for us to get traffic. And so we use all parts of that buffalo as much as possible.
Mhm.
And even getting there, like the
It's not free.
well, it's free to get in if you're press, but
The travel is not.
the
though.
travel's not free, especially with a
And the
smaller
hotel.
website. But you know, some of the bigger websites, of course, pay for all their people to go.
Yeah, which would be awesome.
But you know, we have to like talking about understanding, you know, how we come up with the finances. Like personally, I'm selling a bunch of stuff, and you know, it is a big deal for us to
Mhm.
get to go. We understand that, you know, you guys out there, most of you will never get to go. So we kind of take it in our heart of like, we have to be your little avatars out there and
Right.
and see everything. I'm not, I'm very grateful to be able to go. It is a very amazing experience, but it is a very nerve-wracking experience
Yeah.
too, because it is work. And so Matt and I think it'd be an interesting thing to see kind of from our points of view. And I'm about 10 years older than Matt. So,
Mhm.
you know, I have kids and all this kind of stuff. And he's kind of just starting his family, hopefully at some point. I mean, he's about to get married, and they just closed.
They
on
just
the
closed
house.
on the house. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see our points of view from things, and so you can check all that out at cinelinks.com. You can check out all of our old shows at cinelinks.com. We've also got approved for Google Play.
Mm-hmm. Google Play Music.
It's Google Play Music. Go to that and search for TFGP. You can find us on
Actually, it's gonna. You can't search for THGP. I already tried that. You have to actually search the Fathergamer podcast.
I'm pretty sure I searched TFGP.
Maybe they changed it then.
I'm pretty sure I
Maybe they fixed it.
Either way, try it. You'll find us.
Yeah.
There'll be a link in this description. On
Oh yeah,
on the
yeah.
show notes,
I'll
too.
give Eric the link.
I already have the link. Yeah. Trust me, I was spamming the hell out of it. No, I actually just seeing.
Oh, that's right. I already sent the link to you guys.
Yeah, that link actually didn't work at first on my
Yeah,
phone.
the longer link is weird. It's odd. So I shortened the link and I even put it on Facebook with the shorter link. And it works better.
I actually like how it lays out the episodes. It looks really nice.
Yeah.
It's a lot cleaner than iTunes,
Mhm.
which you can find us on. Also, you can find us on libsyn.com as well as
SoundCloud, and
Stitcher. Like, I'm pretty much TuneIn's our only one we're left. We're not on yet. And
Yeah, that reminds me. I need to look into that.
It's kind of. I'm not entirely sure because we cuss. And
whether or not we can. Yeah.
Yeah, I think WTF, the WTF show. I'm pretty sure he cusses on his show, and he's I know you don't listen to as many podcasts as I do, but I'm pretty sure if I remember right, he cusses, and he's on Stitcher. So
Stitcher, yeah,
not Stitcher, but Lips. Whatever. It's into the night.
Tune in.
Thank you very much. So, yeah, like I said, this was a kind of easy peasy. We were relaxed episode. We'll definitely be.
Yeah, we're actually laying on his bed.
Yeah,
right
we are
now.
actually laying on my bed. It's. Yeah, we're getting back into the groove. We'll be back into it next week. I don't know entirely who's going to be here. We're going to be changing some stuff around with that too. It's going to be a pretty hectic 2 months, I would say. We're not doing San Diego Comic-Con this year. But
Sadly, yes.
Sadly, but I'm at the same time I'm kind of relieved.
Yeah,
like
it was overcrowded big time.
I almost didn't enjoy it. Like
Yeah.
I love the experience, and I think if you're a con person, I think it's kind of the holy grail. Like you have to go.
It was good to go. It was good to go at least once.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's I'm a little older. Like I don't usually play that card very much because I'm pretty young at heart. Like we talk about Pokemon for 30 minutes now.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, but it was it was just too many people.
Mhm.
Like it was just I didn't feel like I got to see the things I wanted to see, and there was just so
Yeah.
much. And I felt like people at home got to see more stuff than I got to see. But it was amazing. Like it is an amazing. It's almost like a communal experience to be with that many people that live.
Speaking of people at home,
Mhm.
this year San Diego is actually having a live stream.
Yeah,
Of their events.
of the panels.
panels.
So that
I don't know if you have to pay for them or not,
I doubt it.
but
I-
that's better than they have been in the past.
Oh,
so
it depends. Like some of them would have them individually.
Yeah.
Like you could find
individual streamers,
them.
yeah.
Or like Warner and stuff
Mhm.
like that would. And I know Marvel would stream, but they're not
Yeah.
there at all this year. They weren't there. They were barely there last year.
They were barely there, yeah. DC was the biggest part of
DC was there, and apparently
Several booths,
Fox,
actually.
Fox isn't showing up.
Really.
So yeah, we're not doing San Diego.
Even though we have a way to get in there again.
Yeah,
very
we're grandfathered
easily.
in.
We're grandfathered in from last year.
I might do it again at some point, but not anytime soon. I'd actually rather do New York. I think I'd be more.
That would be kind of cool, yeah. Or the MegaCon in Florida.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't mind going back to that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different. It's not as big.
Yeah.
From my understanding, it's gotten
a lot bigger.
Yeah, to almost the point that it's nerve-wracking.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoyed MegaCon. MegaCon was really fun. I liked at the time people were a lot more approachable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's where I got to talk to Stan Lee. And
I was gonna say you talked to Stan Lee, yeah,
and the guys at Robot Chicken and all that kind of stuff. Like that was my first.
I can still see them as an easy way to get to get in.
Though. Depends on where you're at.
Yeah,
like that one, I walked straight up to.
Because Seth Green and Matt Sunrises, they're both down to earth. So
it's funny though. Like I walked up to the Dio or whatever his name is from DC. I walked up to all those people, and it was really easy. Just to walk up and talk to them. I did a little bit of that at Comic-Con, but not a heck of a lot. Like people I knew, like I've developed friendships with in the industry. Of course, I could go up and talk to, but other than that, it was really San Diego too doesn't really respect the press as much as
definitely not. Yeah, it's so crowded that they can't really do that.
Unless you're somebody like I don't know IGN or something like that. I don't think they really care. Like they just don't.
Like you can't even have a tripod because there's so many people that they'll trip.
Well, that's understandable. Like I actually I had no problem with that, and it was very understandable. But that's partially a safety issue with the people, and that's partially they don't want to pay for your equipment.
You can't have a monopod either, which was stupid.
Well, they just they don't want someone knocking into your stuff,
and
them getting hurt and your equipment getting hurt. I actually had no problem with that. As somebody who's had to work crowd control with Disney and all that kind of stuff, I had no problem with that. It just was too many people. I just felt like I was a wash in a sea. Yeah, and I think if I had more of a click, and honestly, I wouldn't mind going there.
You were a small M&M on a conveyor belt, basically.
I would rather
the whole way.
I would rather go there not working. Yeah, I think I would enjoy that.
It would definitely be a lot more enjoyable.
I think that would be more fun. So yeah, but of course, if I went, I would be recording anyway.
Oh yeah.
So it just I don't think it's possible.
But you'd be able to see a lot of stuff, like a lot more stuff.
Yeah. So. Anyway, it definitely expects some different stuff from us the next couple months as things progress. I'm working on getting my vlog to talk about, because basically I'm hitting the gym again, and it is going to be hell. And I've tried a couple times. I just now feel like I have the energy, and I'm shooting for 40 pounds. I think I could do it between now and then. I mean. I was up, like, I honestly, I will fully admit this, I gained almost 60 pounds during the whole, like, mono from September to... Yeah. But I've dropped 25 already, so... Nice. and that's barely doing anything. So, I mean, my body was primed, like, ready to go, like, already. So,
Yeah.
my muscle mass is still there. So, we'll talk about that kind of stuff. So, guys, thank you for listening to our very long, hot-winded, weasel-infused episode, and I get raspier.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I'm starting to cough more.
So, anyway, thank you guys for listening, and make sure to check out all our old shows, and as always, achieve greatness.